Hello folks, and welcome to another webisode of Fishing with Wingsta. Today I've got a review for you. Well, I guess you can call it a review. What I want to talk about is one of our most important assets when we're on the water, and that's our eyes. Without our eyes, we can't see. Duh. Um, and I'm going to go over a couple different pairs of sunglasses and what they are, and how they're made, and what kind of protection you get from them. Let's start off simple, and I'm just going to go with I'm going to introduce these two right here first. This one is a pair of Berkeley's, and they are polarized. All of these are polarized, by the way. And this is a pair of Strike King sunglasses. Now, in the past, this kind of sunglasses is what I've used the most. They're relatively cheap and inexpensive, but they're also made cheaply, and they're not very good quality. You get a lot of distortion with them. You get a lot of, things are offset, so the refraction of it is kind of different. And sometimes they're just not very clear, especially for things in the far distance. You just can't see things clearly. They're great for close up, maybe 10, 15, 20 yards away, but anything beyond that, you kind of get a little blurriness to stuff. And these are what I used to use all the time. Because they were cheap, and if I screwed them up, scratched them or whatever, I didn't really feel too bad about it. I just toss them and get a new pair. But over the years, by using these, every time I put a pair of these on now, I start getting headaches. So, when I went and got my eyes checked and got my new contacts and stuff, I asked my doctor about it, and he said that because of the distortion and the refraction and the clarity, that over time these will strain your eyes. So, and I told him what I did. I fish all the time, and he goes, you need to invest in a good pair of polarized sunglasses, and you won't have headaches anymore when you get off the water. So that's when I went ahead and I started looking for a good pair of sunglasses, which are these right here. So the way these are created, and I'll show you these, kind of stretch them out here a little bit so you can see them. The way these are created, they have different layers. And on this particular pair, there's a layer of iridescent kind of material, and then there's glue, and then there's the polarized filter, and then there's more glue, and then there's the lens. So basically it's just a sandwich. It's stacked, all these layers are stacked on top of each other. And that's what creates your distortion and and ruins your clarity over time. Well, not over time, immediately with these things. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see it on the film or not, but you can see that the biggest thing about these sandwich glasses is when they start to wear, and especially in salt water, which is what I'm around all the time, if they have any kind of coating on top, it kind of gets basically eaten away. Even though I always wash my glasses after every time I get off the salt water, they still get chewed up, especially if they have a different color coating on them. So, like I said, I don't know if you can see it, but I hope you can, to get an idea of what I'm talking about. So that's the Berkeley's. Now the Strike Kings, they're a little better as far as quality goes. They're still done the same way. They have, the dark coating, and then the glue, then your polarized filter, and then glue, and then your actual lens. And by the way, all these lenses are made of polycarbonate. These two are made of polycarbonate. And this has a metal frame. Now, the one thing I did like about the Strike Kings is their durability. They're kind of scratched up now, but I've had these glasses for probably 4 months before I went and got these. Still gave me headaches every time I put them on, but they held up, so they were good as far as that, goes. But again, same thing. They're sandwiched, so they distort things. Now let's get into the Oakleys. And I did a lot of research before I went and bought a pair of sunglasses that I was going to have for a long time. And I ended up choosing Oakleys over Ray-Bans for a couple different reasons. For one, Ray-Bans, their interchangeable lenses aren't as what's the word I'm looking for? Aren't as progressed as Oakley's are. And Oakley has actually come out with lenses designed specifically for fishing. And you know me, I'm all about the fishing. So when I was researching, I found out a lot of cool things about these glasses, but the biggest factors were the way the lenses are made, so as not to get the distortion and the refraction, and the clarity's still all there. And of course the interchangeable lenses. If you take a look at these, let's just start with the frame. It's a nice Oakley frame. This is actually called the flak jacket frame, and it's pretty cool looking. I mean, it's burgundy with metal flake. They call it red metal flake, but it's actually very dark red with metal flake. And it came with these black Iridium lenses. Now, these black Iridium lenses, they only have 9% light transmission. In other words, only 9% of light gets through the lens. So they're very, very good for very bright days, especially if you're out on the water. Because you have all that glare, it will A, cut down on that, and B, they're so dark that even on the brightest of days, your eyes are still comfortable. These are also, all these lenses, well, Oakley lenses are UVA, UVB, and UVC. They have all their qualifications for them and everything. Plus, they're super high impact resistant, so they're safe to wear on your face. And these black Iridiums, like I said, they're very dark. Now, I also picked up the ambers, or as they call them, the bronzes. Now I have found these to be my go-to glasses for fishing. These things are amazing. I can see, from low light, like early in the morning, until, even through the brightest of the daytime. They're pretty dark. They have a light transmission of 15%. It's still rated as a category 3, so they're still very protective of your eyes, but they do allow more light in. That's why you can use them even in lower, not very low, but lower light conditions. And the way these are made, let me cover that real quick. These are what Oakley calls plutonite, I believe is how it's pronounced, plutonite, like planet Pluto and night. So plutonite. And how they do it is they have their polarized filter inside the lens. It's actually formed inside the lens. It's basically laid down, and then the lens material is melted over it, basically. So it's kind of like all one. It's just one lens. There's no glue, there's no silliness. Plus, their lenses are all made at exactly the same time. So they have a big sheet. They pour their lens material, it encompasses it, and when they're cut or pressed, or however they're machined out, they're done at the same time, so that the lines are perfectly straight, and everything is the same. So you have no clarity issues, no refraction issues. you know, and so they're really good for your eyes. I mean, they're just like putting on a pair of, you know, like fake glasses. In other words, you're not getting all that sandwiched crap that's making your eyes strain and your eyes hurt. Well, now, like I said, these are interchangeable. So all I have to do is basically just pop these out. I mean, it's not rocket science. They pop out pretty easily. And then, you know, I can just take them and then just pop them right back in. You know, pop in the new lenses. There we go. And then I'm good to go. Now these are two of their fishing lenses. This one is, like I said, this is for very bright sunlight, and these are for low to very bright sunlight. Now they also make two more kinds and two more colors. They have a deep blue, and they call it deep blue polarized and shallow blue polarized. Now the deep blue is for really bright sunlight when you're out on the open water, and the shallow blue polarized are basically for mid light to not really bright light, but just before really, like before noon type light. And they're made for like shallow water, so you can see the bottom very clearly. It takes out all the blue, so you can see basically straight to the bottom. They're pretty cool. I don't have those yet. They're kind of expensive. That's how Oakley is. So eventually I'll end up getting those. But for now, I found that these amber ones are just basically the cat's meow. You know, they're awesome. And then when we're out on the boat and it's very bright outside, I'll pop these in. You know, just to protect my eyes, because they're, like I said, they're very important to us. You know, we can't, you know, it's hard to fish if you can't see, especially if you're a sight fisher. You know, when you're like in the river or on a lake and you're fishing structure and stuff and you're looking for things, you know, it's kind of hard not to do it, or kind of hard to do it if you can't see. The cool thing about the extra pairs of lenses for this frame is they come with their own little bag. You know, it's a divided bag, so you put one in one side, one in the other. They also come, or your glasses, of course, come with your. These are customs because I actually got them at the shop, and this color is a custom color, so I got the custom bag. And of course, the guy down there hooked me up with this really cool case. I can put 3 sets of lenses in here. A set there, a set here, and then of course, you know, the ones that are actually on my glasses in here. And they all fit nice and snug, and they're not going anywhere. And again, if you take it out on the water with you, you know, just wipe it down. You know, I've had these for, I think, 3 months now. So, I mean, and they've been out on the water with me every time. And as you can see, you know, just simple wipe downs and keep it clean, you know, and then they'll last. Now this I'm also going to talk about. It's not got anything to do with the Oakleys or anything. This is an arc retainer, and they're for, of course, keeping your glasses on your head. And I've lost a really nice pair of Ray-Bans off the boat because they were on top of my head, and the wind caught them and whoop, gone. They got deep sixed. So lesson learned. So I went and bought this. These are like $12, I think I paid for these. They're, you know, they're so cheap for what they do. You know, you put your earpieces in there, and of course they go around your head. And the thing I like about the arc system is it's expandable or retractable. You know, you can put it whatever size you want. It's lightweight. You know, they adjust when you have them on. You know, if you have them on, they'll swing down like this, so they're not sticking straight out the back of your head like some do. You know, so you can have those angled down, and they come with two different size, ear grabbers. I'm gonna call them ear grabbers. These are the ones that actually come on it. Then they have a larger size for if you have huge sunglasses. But I highly recommend getting a pair of these. It just, instead of putting your glasses on top of your head, you just take them off and you just drop them down along, around your neck. That way they don't fly off your head and you lose, $200, or even I've seen some people spend up to $500, $600 for a pair of sunglasses, which is crazy, by the way. But you spend $150, $200 on a pair of sunglasses. You want them to last, and you don't want to lose them because something like this, something silly, something that you can't, you should buy. And this system also, you can buy little floaties, and they're really goofy looking, but you can put them on there. They're orange sponges looking things, and you can slide them on and have 4 or 5 of them on there, and they will float your sunglasses. The only way I've ever, like I said, the only way I've ever lost a pair of sunglasses is when I put them on my head and they flew off. So with this system, like I said, it's like $12. I just drop them around my neck. I don't put them on my head anymore, so I won't lose them overboard like that. As long as this thing is on there, they're not going anywhere. So that's basically it. I mean, we really have to take care of our eyes as fishermen, because we are out in very, very, very bright conditions. Especially on the boat when you have the glare off the water and you have the and you're looking up, casting and retrieving. You're sitting there with the sun coming down in your eyes, from the sky, and then you got the glare off the water. So I mean, we really, really got to protect our eyes. It's highly important. Now, I don't have anything against these. People will go and buy these very cheap ones. But over, in the last 2 years, I've probably went through 9 sets of glasses. 9 sets. 9. Okay? Because like I said, salt water is hard on these things, even though I wash them off every time. Okay, now I spent about $24 a pair. Okay? Do the math. Buy one good set, that isn't going to do all this craziness, isn't going to wear out, isn't going to give me headaches, and I'll probably have this pair of sunglasses for at least 3-4 years, as long as I take care of them, which I do. And even if something does happen to them, you can just replace the lenses. It makes money sense to me. Spend a little bit more in the beginning, that for a pair of glasses that's not going to give me a headache and not going to hurt my eyes, is going to protect my eyes. Not only they're ANSI rated for impact resistance, and their light transmission is amazing. Plus they have all the UVA, UVB, and UVC protection on them. These guys, UVA and UVB protection, but they're not ANSI rated for impact resistance or anything like that. Plus they're kind of chintzy. These things actually have some meat to them. They're actually hefty. Yeah, they're a little heavy, but whatever. Protecting my eyes, I'm good with that. Yeah, I mean, protect your eyes out there, folks. It just, it makes perfect sense for us as fishermen to protect our eyes. It's, like I said, spend a little bit more up front. These are glasses that are going to last me for years. As long as, like I said, as long as I take care of them, make sure I put my little arc retainer on when I'm on the boat. They're pretty scratch resistant. They're impact resistant. They're really good. Like I said, I have no problems with these other than the fact that they're after so many years of using these cheap sunglasses, they started giving me headaches. So I had to quit using them, unfortunately. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I mean, I highly recommend the Oakleys as far as lens replacement and the way they're made. Ray-Ban makes a couple really good, nice pairs of sunglasses that are polarized. But they don't have any fishing specific ones at this time. Like I said, Oakley, they have 4 different lenses that are specifically for fishing. And that, in my opinion, is just amazing. You know, a sunglass company finally realized, hey, fishing is, a $10 billion a year industry. We want a slice of the pie. So they went ahead and, put some resources to it and figured out what anglers wanted, what they needed, and boom, this is what we have. So, yeah, like I said, protect your eyes. They're very important to us, as you all know. So, I think I'll close it out with that. Alright. Until next time, fish on, bitches.